Here we go, exact driving test route, early morning. You can see a driving examiner here. They're going to check out the car. So this is an exact driving test route. We're going to go through some of the mistakes. Unfortunately, on this occasion, the student didn't pass. On our YouTube channel, we got more driving test routes. So go check out, like, share and subscribe. So the first thing I noticed was the examiner setting up the sat nav here. You can see it in the corner. So it looks like the student's going to do some independent driving straight from the driving test center. We're in Isleworth driving test center early morning. So let's see how the student deals with the peak time traffic. The first thing to notice is they put the wipers on. Okay, so good start already. We've got learners around us. Look, another learner coming through the gate. You have to be extremely cautious now. You have to watch out for other learners also trying to pull out at the same time. So fairly slow speed. We're coming now. You're going to go left at the gate because the right is a dead end. So there's a giveaway line here. As we get out, let's see what the student does. They're going to stop. Probably peep and creep. They peeped and creep, it looks like. And gone through. So obviously do your check. You don't have to stop. If you can clearly see it's safe, you can move. And there's another road coming. Another giveaway sign. Again, it looks like they're turning. Let's see where they're going. Left. Coming to another giveaway. Checking thoroughly. The student this time didn't stop again. Again, you don't have to in a giveaway if it's clear to go. Then as you're driving, you got a roundabout coming up ahead. So make sure you check right thoroughly. You can see the cars also going straight, blocking the right. So good speed, good call coming through. Now you got speed bumps, you got meeting scenarios. You got the wiper still on. It is wet. You have to watch your speed and stopping distance in this kind of condition. Okay, driving through fairly slow it seems like. Now picking up a bit of speed. Then probably going to slow down now for the speed bumps. We've got cyclists and the van to deal with. Checking your mirrors now at this stage. Making sure you're in the appropriate speed and gear. Alright, don't forget again guys to like, share and subscribe. We've got more videos online on our channel, FM Driving School. Go subscribe. We've got also videos on how to pass the driving test, how to impress a driving examiner. You know, having spent many years with the student, with the examiners, we know exactly what they want. What do we have here? We got a hazard vehicle and a van coming through. Students doing the right thing, coming to a stop it looks like. Okay. The guy's gone through, he's moving out the way. So at this stage, you should be checking your mirrors, interior right. It looks like we try to move a little bit out. The guy's flashing us to go. But you have to look out for the cars in front. Come through, check your left mirror, get back in. Excellent. So just because someone waits over you doesn't mean you have to go. You have to make sure it's safe. So obviously the pedestrian didn't see we're waiting for cars as well. We're not just waiting for him. Okay, sometimes in the exam you might be asked to park here at this bay here in this particular route. In this occasion we didn't. We're coming through again, waiting for a safe opportunity. We've got a roundabout coming up. Okay, so you'll be checking your mirrors. If you're going left, you're going to indicate left. You're watching out for the learners here. We're going left. Is anyone coming to your right? No, so we're going to cut through. Driving through to the left of the roundabout. This is an exact driving test route. 20 miles an hour road. Should be checking your right mirror. Okay, looks like we pulled up. So the examiner must have asked the student pull up on the left. Check your mirrors, interior left and pull in. Okay, in the exam, you'll be expected to pull up a few times, couple of times. I've seen it, in fact, sometimes even 5 times. Looks like the examiner's doing something with sat nav. Maybe he's moving it, so it's a bit more easier for the student to see. Well, we don't know yet. We're gonna find out. So I know you've been asked to pull over. Now you have to move off. You're gonna do a 6-point check as you move off. So the student's waiting for the cars. It looks like. So make sure you do your 6-point check. Make sure you move off safely. And as we drive, you're going to see you have to make sure you pick up your speed appropriately. So it's 20 miles an hour road. Check all your mirrors. Follow the bend here. Looking far ahead, you can see another bend. You may even be asked to pull up straight away if the examiner feels like it. So look, there's bays here on the left. The examiner will say find somewhere safe to stop. So you always park on the left hand side. The examiner asks you to park on the right, they'll be direct. They'll say can you find somewhere on the right to park. And most likely if you park on the right, you're doing a reverse exercise. Again, there's more spots here to stop on the left. This is the exact test route. Sometimes they do ask you to pull over on this road as well. Sometimes in the exam, the examiners may chat to you. Some won't. Sometimes they may, just ask like, what did you get up to during the day if you're not doing your driving exam. Standard questions they've been trained to ask. What do you guys prefer? Do you prefer the examiner to stay quiet so you can concentrate, or do you prefer a bit of interaction? Comment below, let me know what you guys prefer. So right now we got temporary traffic lights. Looks like we'll come to, so there's a sign. Credit to the student, they did stop when red light shows wait here. So as we're waiting, we should be checking our mirrors, just scanning who's around us. Don't forget, as you move off, you're going to have to check your right mirror, interior mirror and right mirror, as you don't want the cars to like go straight ahead of you. So you have to check your mirrors and move out slowly. Let's see what the lights are saying. Green, so you check your mirrors and move across safely. As I said, the risk are someone from behind might try to overtake, especially with the L plates on. People get a bit frustrated. And check your mirrors to move back in towards the left. Alright, so now you're driving. Remember, the examiner's going to be checking, looking at you to make sure you do your routines, making sure that you check your mirrors. Try to control the speed correctly. You can see it's 20 miles an hour road. Scanning far ahead. We're trying to figure out what to do if there's any hazard that's going to come across. Here we go. Slightly restricted us. We had to move across slightly to the left there. Seems alright. Driving fairly slow. Not breaking any speed limits. Maintaining good speed. Moving out nicely away from the cars in advance. So as you move up, make sure you check your mirrors. And when you check your mirrors now, left mirror that is, just to move back in. We got a roundabout here. Let's see where we're going. Checking your right, obviously. And the student didn't wait. They saw the car being blocked off and moved to the left. So as you approach the roundabout, you check your mirrors, interior left. You would indicate left 6 to 8 cars length. And if there's an opportunity to go, you should try to be progressive. You got speed bumps here. Again, the student seems fairly slow, in control of the car, in control of the situation. A great confidence from the student with that roundabout, seeing the car on the right being stopped and taking advantage of it. The examiner would also have noticed that. Again, good speed, good control over the speed bumps. All these things examiners are noticing. So this road, it seems a bit rocky. You can see it's not really nice and smooth. You got speed bumps, you got meeting scenarios, you got parked cars. And again, good speed. And at the same time, trying to build up a speed between the speed bumps. You can see it happening right now. So good driving. You can see them going a little bit faster. Slow down for this particular bump. Again, speeding up again between the speed bumps. Great driving so far. If you can let the tires go either side of the speed bumps, you can be slightly a bit faster on the speed bump. So here we are, try to center yourself on top of the speed bump, and then you can go a bit more faster than usual. You might be in gear 2 or 3 at this situation. So again, this is the exact driving test route. So we're coming up towards a roundabout. We're taking the 4th exit. We're going to get ourselves into the right, and we'll check our mirrors interior right. Make sure you indicate in advance. 6 to 8 cars length. If the right's clear, try to get on. There's a first exit, 1. There's a second. Make sure the indicator's onto the right. Here's a third. As you go past the third, check your mirrors. Interior left at this stage, indicate left. And then you're going to come off. You'll try and move across safely. Make sure no one's trying to sneak in on the inside. You can see the speed limit. It's about 20. As you're driving, check all your mirrors. Make sure you're aware who's around us. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Click the button on the right. We've got loads more videos on how to pass your driving test, what the driving examiners are looking out for. Don't forget, we sit with our students in their test. We know exactly what they get up to, how the examiners mark, where the test routes are. So this is an exact driving test route. If your test center is in Isleworth, this is definitely the video for you to watch. Here's a zebra crossing, making sure no one's trying to cross. We got hazards on the left. Check your mirrors. Try to be safe. You have to be aware they might try to move off. They haven't. Get yourself back into the correct lane so this lane goes straight. If the examiner doesn't tell you where you're going, you assume you're going straight. Try to get yourself into the correct lane. We got a nice gap between us and the car in front of us. Remember, you want to see tires and tarmac. So we can clearly see tires and tarmac in this situation. As a driver, you want like a half a car's length gap between you and the car in front. Lights change. Check your mirrors. We've got a cycle lane on the left, so do check your mirrors a bit thoroughly here. As you come in across, you've got a roundabout to deal with. So whichever exit you're taking, the first or second exit should ideally be on the left, third and fourth on the right in this particular area. Every area is a bit different with their roundabouts. Isleworth roundabouts are fairly simple, but there are some middle lanes that you have to deal with. So as we said, first or second exit ideally on the left lane, third and fourth on the right. So we're going to be taking the third exit. Therefore, you should be on the right hand lane. This is an exact driving test route. We're actually on an exam right now. You're watching an exact driving test. So as you move, make sure you get yourself in the correct lane in advance. If you're taking the third exit, get yourself on the right lane. You check your mirrors, interior right, you indicate right. We're in the right lane. Lights are green. Double check the right on the road. Watch out for the lights to change. As you're driving, get yourself on the inside lane. Count the exits. There's a first on our far left. As you go around, there's a second in front of you. You should be checking your left mirror at this stage, indicating left and trying yourself best to move to the left lane, as we have. Wicked. So that was a good roundabout. We're on the left hand lane now, building up our speed, checking our mirrors and looking out for speed signs. You can see it's about 40 miles an hour. You can see cars on the right overtaking. Make sure you build up your speed. Make sure you hit 40 if it's clear. You can actually fail for being too slow. So now we got dual carriageway. Make sure you check all your mirrors. You can see cars are turning left, so you may have to react to these cars. Check your mirrors thoroughly as you're driving. Try to build up your speed. It may be a bit wet, but you can. I'm sure you can build up your speed to 40 right now, as the roads are quite clear. In your test, you may have to deal with dual carriageways like this. In this road is 40. Some dual carriageways are national speed limit, which is 70. You may have to do 50. Or depends on the area. This area, the maximum speed you'll be doing is 40. So as you can see, whichever test center that you go to, the area can affect if you're going to pass or not. Because maybe some test center areas, the dual carriageways are really difficult to deal with. The roundabouts are bigger, so it can affect your driving test. So we're driving. It seems alright. Obviously, some of the faults in the test were the student was fairly slow. So I'm assuming at this situation the student may be a bit slow. They did get faulted for being a bit slow. And so this seems like one of the situations. Obviously, we can't see the speedometer on the video here. As we're driving, so this is an exact driving test route, you're going to come across another roundabout. These are some of the exact driving test roundabouts you're going to deal with in your driving test. Now, I've made videos about the roundabouts itself, how to do roundabouts in Isleworth and other areas. Go to our channel, you'll find it on our playlist. So here we are, we're taking the second exit in this situation. You can see the 2 bars, the 200 yards. You can see another 1 bar here, literally on our left and right. We're fairly close to the roundabout. We're taking the second exit. Look far ahead, and you're going to see now it gets a little bit more complicated. The far lane on the left only goes left, so you have to be in the middle lane in order to go straight. Yes, you can be on the right lane, but pick the middle lane, because as you get to the middle here, you're going to now shift back into the far left lane. There we go. And then it leads you off onto the left lane. If you're in the far right lane, you'll be on the right as you come off, which is where you don't really want to be. If you do find yourself on the right lane, you have to make sure you move back across to the left lane. So again, really good roundabout. Seeing the lane markings, picking the middle lane, and then from the middle goes back into the left. A bit like a hook or a question mark, imagine that. So that kind of shape. Rewind the video if you want to see the roundabout. It's actually a really good roundabout. Make sure you check your mirrors as you come off. That's something you can't see what the student is doing. This car's trying to get in. You might try to cut in. And so if he does like this, you have to brake a bit slow. It looks like the student did, to create some gap. And then you should be coming off. The exams don't take you up this road. They should come off here. And then you're going to deal with another roundabout. They never really take you up that bridge on this particular route. It's too far out from the test center otherwise. So now we're on the left lane. We're looking forward. It looks like there's something in the way. So the student is now moved across. And credit to the student. Make sure you check your mirrors. You indicate you move across. And check your left mirror and indicate you move back in. So they're now on the left lane taking the first exit. So again, try to see all this in advance. You've got a zebra crossing here you have to deal with. And when you get a chance, if it's empty, try to get on. This roundabout can be very busy, very difficult. It's one of the bigger roundabouts in the area. Probably slightly harder than the other roundabouts, I would say. So this is the biggest roundabout you're going to face in Isleworth. So staying safe, staying on the left lane in this situation, taking the first exit. You can see there's a 30 miles an hour right on the corner of the screen. Ooh, that was quite close to that white car there. That's quite close. Anyway, it doesn't seem like it was a fault, but it did seem a little bit close for comfort. Alright, so as we're driving, you're looking for speed signs. We did see the 30 in the corner as we mentioned. If there's no signs on the road, you should assume it's 30. What do you guys think of the route so far? Do you think it's a bit difficult? Do you think it's easy? Do you think you can manage it? Comment below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. So we're holding back from this car. Roads are fairly wet, keeping a nice gap, checking our mirrors thoroughly. Make sure you check thoroughly. So as you're driving, the examiners may ask you to pull up. In this situation we have, you check your mirrors interior left, you indicate and pull up. The examiner may ask you randomly, can you just pull up just before the blue car, for example. They might say that next to the driveway. That's completely possible. Or they might say, can you find somewhere safe to stop? So in this situation, it looks like the student would have been asked, pull up just behind the blue car. And then the examiner may want to chat to you or ask you to pull off again. And you do your 6-point check as you pull off. They may want to like fix the sat nav, get the sat nav out. That's why they may ask you to pull up as well. But you're also being assessed in pulling up and moving off. So you check your mirrors, you indicate to pull up, and then pull up fairly close to the curb, obviously. And then as you move off, 6-point check, indicate to move off. We got a roundabout to deal with. Make sure you're slow. Follow the shape of the roundabout if you have space. So that we follow the shape. We have enough space to go around. You don't cut across unless there's no space. So the students driving, it looks like they're picking up the speed now. It did seem like they were a bit slow again. And then you can see when they accelerate, you can see that obviously the screen moving a bit faster. So this road is 30, there's no signs. Make sure you're doing the speed limit. You're gonna probably turn left down here, yeah. You're gonna check your mirrors, indicate left to move back in. So these are some of the routes that I myself teach on, because we know these are the routes. We come around these areas. We do actually practice all the exact same test routes. Just because, as we said, we sat with examiners, we know exactly where the routes are. Being aware of this car trying to pull out, he didn't pull out, so we're fine. Checking your mirrors and moving across. There's a give way here, so make sure you double check the right as you pull in. Yeah, there we go. And you can see speed signs now. You can see the 20 here, so make sure you're 20. We've got a bus lane to deal with. If it's not in operation, you can use it. In this case, we're not using it. But if it's in operation, you can't use it, obviously. Anyway, we're on the right lane for now. Examiner may take you on the third exit or the second exit in this situation. So if you're taking the second exit, make sure you move back across to the left. We'll kind of know this area is actually the middle and that should go straight in this situation. But in this case, there's a sign on the left. The examiner may also take the third exit. Let's see. If they do, you check your mirrors, indicate right. So we're getting quite a lot of roundabouts, quite a difficult route now. The student is being assessed in we're back on the same roundabout which we just did, literally. So the examiner is really testing the student out, especially on top of the roundabouts. Quite a lot of roundabouts, maybe 1, 2, 3, back 4, maybe even 5 big roundabouts we're going to be doing. So I'll say the route is quite tricky. You can see it's not that difficult. If you practice on it, it won't be difficult. But this particular route with the student, we've had a lot of roundabouts. So on the right lane, make sure the indicator is on. It is controlled by traffic lights, but you still double check the right as you move off. There's a light, so as you move off, make sure you look right onto the road. No one should be coming, but you still double check. As you move across, here's the first on the far left, there's the second. Our lanes are going to split up, and you should go into the middle lane or the far left. So we're in the middle lane. Check your left, and you can move. You indicate obviously, and you can move across to the far left. Even better, if the student can move to the far left. If it's clear, try to get yourself in straight away. So again, it seems like a really good roundabout in terms of the layout. We can't really see what the student's doing because we don't have the clip of it. But the students should be checking their mirrors, indicate left to come off. So now we're going back towards the test center. That was actually a test route. So we've literally just came the opposite way. Now we're going back towards the test center. The same dual carriageway, the opposite way back. So I would say it's a little bit silly to do the same route back, but that's what the test is. The examiner's really testing the student out on the roundabouts. That's why we're back on the same route, because all the roundabouts are in this particular area. It's literally a straight road, and there's about 5 big roundabouts on this dual carriageway. So I'll say this test route is really a lot of roundabout practice. Luckily for us, we have practiced a lot of roundabouts in the test. In our lesson, sorry, we practice all these roundabouts. So we do know the student failed or got a fault for being a bit too slow on the dual carriageway. So if you look at the report here, you can see appropriate speed, 4 minor faults. The student has been a bit slow during the drive, and you can get faulted. If you get too many faults, you get a major fault. We have got a serious fault, which we'll talk about when we get towards that fault later on. So far it seems alright. There's a few cars in front of us. There's no way you can really pick up your speed in this situation. I do have a feeling though, as we get closer to this roundabout, we're going to make the fault here. I think this is where the examiner mentioned that the student may have made a fault. So you're going to see why. I think we're taking the second exit, and watch what happens. So as we're driving, the students now moved across to the middle lane to go straight. They probably accidentally thought the left goes left only, and we moved to the middle lane and we didn't check our mirrors, and this is where this serious fault occurred. So at the end of the test, the examiner explained there was actually no need to go to the middle lane. We were going straight on this roundabout. Now, some of the roundabouts in Isleworth, you do have to be in the middle lane to go straight, but that's why you have to look out for the arrows in advance. Don't just assume the middle goes straight. And if you are in the middle lane, if you do go to the middle lane, make sure you check your mirrors if you're going to change lanes and indicate to move across. So the major fault now is we moved across without checking our mirrors. Now the issue is when you're in the middle lane here is we're going to come off on the right hand lane, and you're now in the overtaking lane. Make sure you move yourself back into the left lane safely. So you'll be checking your mirrors, you indicate, and you move back across. So unfortunately, this is where the major fault occurred, moving across without checking their mirrors. Now this particular route the examiner's taking the student on, they had to deal with almost 7 big roundabouts. 7 big roundabouts. It's a shame. Because of one roundabout, just because of one mirror check, unfortunately the student failed. Apart from that, they've done all the roundabouts really well, correctly. It's just a shame that one lapse of concentration can lead you to a failure, and that's unfortunately how the driving test is. So we're dealing with another big roundabout in Isleworth. We're taking the first exit back into the test center. We're in the correct lane. We have to give credit to the student. They done all the roundabouts, even the one where we made the major fault. It's not wrong to be in the middle lane. They just didn't check their mirrors, and they were sharp enough to move back into the left lane. So we have to give credit to the student. They done really well with all the roundabouts, with all the pressure that they had to deal with. It's a bit unusual to do with so many roundabouts in the driving test, but this is a route that we're given, so we have to firm it. We have to just deal with it. So now, literally, we're off the roundabouts. The dual casual is right behind us, where all 5 roundabouts are held. The big roundabouts are there. So now we're going all the way back to the driving test center. You can see the lights changing again. Student reacting nicely. So as a driving examiner, yes, the student did seem a little bit slow. That can be a bit frustrating for a driving examiner. You should build up your speed. We have to make sure we make the examiner in a good mood by having good clutch control, checking our mirrors, building up our speed, showing the examiner we're not beginners. We have to show the examiner we're experienced, and I think we're a little bit slow throughout the test. It seems like, and maybe the examiner also didn't like that. But yeah, literally one major fault, and unfortunately, because of that, we failed. So on the correct lane again, the right lane to go straight. Credit to the student, they're seeing everything. They're in the correct lanes. I'm assuming they're checking their mirrors because they haven't been faulted for these any mistakes around here. And again, I'm assuming they indicate at the right times to move across when they need to. So we have to give the student credit. Everything we've taught, they have applied. Is one literally lapse of concentration that can lead you to a major fault. So now literally it's just straight road down. The traffic lights is going to be, there's going to be a left which leads us back into the driving test center. So we haven't as of yet done any maneuvers. If you don't do maneuvers during your test, you'll be doing a maneuver at the end of the test, which is your reverse bay parking. You can see the students building up the speed. You can see the cars are moving quite fast. As experienced drivers, we can kind of see when you're slow, when you're fast. So right now it looks like the students building up their speed, moving across nicely, dealing with the car trying to turn right. You're going to see the student hopefully build up the speed again. Go on, mate. Go on, clear roads. No, they didn't. So there's a red light anyway, so a bit lucky. Oh no, it's green light. So again, a bit frustrating. Maybe the student thinks it's 20 miles an hour road. If there's a 20 sign, you can see them build up the speed now. So this is what the examiner meant by they're a bit slow building up the speed. We should be going left here. We're in the left lane. Test center is back towards the left as of driving test center. On our side, we got other driving test centers. We got Greenford, Southall, Yedding, Chertsey, Torworth. There's quite a few test centers on our YouTube channel. Sorry, go to our site and our channel and subscribe. So you can see 20 miles an hour on the road now, and as we said, the maneuver may happen at the end if you don't do a maneuver in the test itself during the test. Sorry. So we know it's 20 miles an hour. The road's a little bit cracked, as you can see. There's quite a few speed bumps. Just maintain a good speed when you can. Make sure you don't lose your concentration on the way back. Stay composed. Everything we've taught you, you've been taught. Make sure you apply it. Watch out for any hazards. Check your mirrors thoroughly. Indicate at the right times as you go back. You're going to come back towards the gate. If you lose control, slow it down. It'll be a bit tricky coming back towards the gate if there's cars coming out. So here we go. We're literally around the corner now. We should be taking a left after these cars. So you check your mirrors, interior left. You'll be indicating, and it should be here on the left. I'll probably brake for the speed bump. There we go, they did. And then on the left, turning left here. Bit slow, a bit over dramatic that to be that slow as you're coming in, but it's not a problem. And then you should be taking a right here at the gate. Check your mirrors, indicate. If you're doing manual, you may want to go down to gear 1. You don't have to. If you have control, stay in 2 and get through. So soon slow down quite a bit. Maybe they're going down to 1, which is completely fine. Nothing wrong with being a bit slow coming into the gate. Now, if you haven't, we haven't done a maneuver as you saw. You're gonna go straight down. You're going to stop, and then the examiner's going to ask you. So you can see a learner on the right. They probably finished their test. And you're going to go straight down. You're going to stop. And then the examiner's going to ask you to reverse back into the bay. And this is counted as your reverse exercise. So as we said, if you haven't done a maneuver throughout the test, you'll be finishing off with a maneuver, which is your reverse bay parking. So as you're doing it, don't forget, if you do mess up, it's not a problem. You can always go forward and fix it. Let's see what the student does. They're moving across lanes and they're turning in. Okay, so they kind of fixed it by moving a bit to the left, you can tell. Let's see if they're going to move forward. No, they reverse back. Yeah, they're moving forward. Again, perfectly allowed to move forward to fix it. Check your mirrors thoroughly. Make sure no one's coming around as well. Alright, and then we come in. That's it. That's the end of the test. So if you look at the faults, not that many faults. It was actually a really good drive. Only 5 minor faults. You're allowed 15. So to make 5 is not a lot. And again, we saw the drive. It was actually a really good drive. They dealt with quite a lot of big roundabouts. Probably 7 big roundabouts. I didn't count. I think there was about 7. You guys can count it yourself. So, and usually that was quite a lot of roundabouts. Usually an examiner would do 3 roundabouts, maybe big ones, and then back towards the test center. But in this situation, we're taking down loads of roundabouts, and credit to the student, they didn't break under the pressure. They dealt with all the roundabouts. If they found themselves in the wrong lane, they fixed it. And unfortunately, it was just literally one lapse of concentration where they moved across to the middle lane when there was no need for it, and it can happen. But even though the middle lane does go straight, they didn't check the mirrors, and that's where the serious fault came in: the use of mirrors, change of directions. So that's a test for you. One little mistake, one lapse of concentration can lead to a major or serious fault, and unfortunately, you fail your test. So as you can see by the drive, the student is good enough to do a test straight away. We managed to find them a test within about 2 weeks. So we're going to post that clip up as well of them doing the test. So they're definitely ready for the test. They don't have to wait a couple of months. Um, Especially if you've done so many lessons, you don't really want to wait a couple of months. You might lose your standing. So we managed to book them a test in isleworth again in 2 weeks' time. So let's hope they pass. They're definitely ready for the test. And as we said, it can happen. One mistake and you fall, and that's unfortunately life. You might make a mistake, so it can happen. But don't take it to heart. Rebook your test. Be back on it. If you need time off, take a bit of time off, but don't take too long and lose your level. Don't forget, guys, to like, share, and subscribe. And hopefully, you guys have better luck as well passing your driving test. It's good to learn from other people's mistakes. It's good to watch the video as well to see the route. Again, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.